What is going on, everyone? Griffin here, coming at you with some VIVI gameplay, and today I'm going to be giving my final thoughts on VIVI. So let's head over, let's talk about it. So VIVI was the last character that the Rogue Company developers released, and she was released at this point about 3 months ago, give or take, right? And she was a character that a lot of people were excited for, right? Because it had been a year since we received the last character, which was Duke. She was, touted to be a support character, and everybody was super excited to get in there and play with her. And then she released, and then they made a couple of changes to her, and then they've continued to make changes to her because her ability to perform, just in my opinion, strictly isn't up to snuff compared to the rest of the rogues in Rogue Company. Is she a support character? Sure, you could run her as a support character. I don't feel like she necessarily is a support character. I don't feel like her ability and her weapons and her gadgets, things like that, necessarily lend to her being a support character. But overall, can she be ran as a support character? Sure. So I guess 2 of the 3 criteria was met by the developers. They released a new character, very low bar. They released a support character, very low bar considering we currently only have 2 support characters in the game, and she needed to be good. That's where they dropped the ball, in my opinion. Now, VIVI overall is not a terrible rogue, right? Just like Duke is not a terrible rogue. They are awful to play with, and they have a terrible experience playing with them, but they are not awful by any stretch. You're still able to play with Duke, you're still able to play with VIVI, and do very good. But where they fall astronomically short is in the movement-based abilities that the developers gave these characters. You have one character that has juke boots that just sometimes decides when they want to work and when they don't want to work. Whereas you have the VIVI slide, right? And you can do some very interesting things with the VIVI slide, don't get me wrong. But it's so A, inconsistent, and B, locks you into this stupid crouch whenever you are near a wall. And then whenever you are trying to stand up, you walk away from the wall, it'll like stand you up and then auto crouch you again. Like, there's a lot of weird interactions that happen whenever you're using the VIVI slide. Now, one change the developers could make that would make her go from being a D tier rogue up to at least a B tier rogue would be getting rid of the auto crouch thing that happens whenever you're near pieces of cover when you use the slide. I have the ability, while I'm sliding, just like every other player in Rogue Company has the ability, to press the crouch button whenever you are sliding, right? Sure, you can shoot while you're sliding. Sure, you can look around while you're sliding. But if you're sliding into a piece of cover and you're trying not to take any bullets, then you as a player have to determine what your priority is going to be whenever you are making that slide. And for me, if I want to crouch, I can press the crouch button while I'm sliding and also look around and also shoot my weapon. And whenever I end the slide, I'll be in a crouch position. I don't get locked into a crouch position. It doesn't mess with my movement. It doesn't mess with my ability to chuck and jive and try to get around corners and things like that. That is the biggest downfall for the character, in my opinion. Second biggest downfall is the lack of utility, right? So they took utility away from Saint, which makes sense, right? Because Saint is the support, right? Dahlia is kind of a hybrid support. She can link to one person, she gets their passive, she's able to revive them at a distance, she has access to lifeline at legendary, and that's it, right? So she has a frag grenade. Saint is the support. He has access to smoke grenades and healing stations, right? He did have C4 for a very long time. They took it away from him, gave him the healing station. It's fine. It is what it is, right? At the end of the day. But VIVI's playstyle, like with Saint, you have access to assault rifles and DMRs. So that allows you to be very explosive at very long ranges, especially with the DMRs, right? So you're able to play a little bit more passively. You're able to play back a little bit further. You're able to get some pop shots on some people. And then if someone goes down, you can either send the drone out or you can run up and go and hand res them, right? With Vivi, you have SMGs and assault rifles, right? So you do get a little bit of long range ability with the assault rifles, not anywhere near as much as you do with DMRs, but you have SMGs. Whenever she uses the ability, it overheals her, right? Gives her up to 125 HP and makes her run faster. What does that sound like? Sounds like a very aggressive character to me whenever you combine those two things together. Plus she has access to evade, right? She has no other sustain perks whatsoever. She doesn't have any bounce back, no armor, no life drain, nothing like that. So she has to rely solely on her healing station and her ability, right? Luckily for us, the developers decided to reduce the cooldown of the ability. So if you pair the ability with energized, you're able to pop the ability like every 15 to 20 seconds, something like that. So that's supposed to be her way of kind of skirting around the fact that she doesn't have access to any sustain perks. Sure, whatever, it is what it is. They could have reworked the ability in a very different way and made it 10 times better in my opinion, but hey, what do I know, right? But she has nothing to push with, right? She has nothing that does a bursty amount of damage whenever you're trying to push a corner where two rogues are at. You don't have the ability to do that. You have to play with her more passive. Yet her kit forces her to play more aggressively, but you have to play her more passively because you don't have access to anything that allows you to push. It creates this weird conundrum where 9 times out of 10 you find yourself in a position to where you're absolutely getting destroyed because you're getting hit with frag grenades, Semtex grenades, C4, you know, Vi poison, incendiary grenades. Like, you're dealing with all of this stuff while you have nothing except for EMPs. And sure, you can say, well, EMPs can be used to push. Yeah, to a degree, EMPs can be used to push with, right? But you have nothing to like hit the corner, push the players back, the enemy players away from the corner with enough time to allow you to swing in and do some damage. So in theory, she should be able to throw an impact grenade, which is what she had to begin with, pop the ability, have 125 HP, move incredibly fast, do whatever damage that she did with an impact grenade, or push those players away from that piece of cover that they're at and allow you to swing around with the SMGs that she has access to and be successful with them. You can't do that anymore. You can't play her the way that she's intended to be played because the developers took away the tools that you need to play her the way that they want you to play her. Makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. She needs to be updated. She needs to have something. And I've proposed 2 changes, right? Either A, give her the impact grenade back, get rid of that stupid healing station, and I also offered the idea of giving her shotguns. Because if you're not going to give her something that does a lot of burst damage, like a piece of utility, she has to have access to something that allows her to create space. And the only thing that can really do that as far as a weapon is concerned is a shotgun. Right? Because you're able to push corners with a shotgun, even if you don't have a piece of utility, by popping that overhill and be able to do a very significant amount of damage with the shotgun. So either A, give her a piece of utility, or B, give her a shotgun and get rid of the SMGs. For me, Vivi, just like Juke, once I get her mastered, until they make significant changes to the character, probably not going to play her anymore. Because I don't like the slide ability. That pisses me off more than anything about this character. And they remove the ability for you to get in and actually be aggressive and to push players. And so why would I play someone that does something that a lot of other characters do, but they do it worse? Chalk does it better. Lancer does it better. Ronin does it better. Glimpse does it better. Switchblade does it better. Like, you name any rogue and they can do what Vivi is meant to do, but better. That's kind of where I'm at with her. Be sure to let me know what you think in the comments down below. What are your thoughts on Vivi? Do you think she's a good character? And what would you do to make her a better character overall? Also, be sure to check that description for links to Facebook, Discord, and Twitter. Those are the places to contact me. If you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. If you've already subscribed to the channel, then consider hitting that join button to become one of the 256 crew members. Lastly, on Thursdays and also on Sundays, I will be streaming here on YouTube, so if you're interested and available, please feel free to stop by and say hello there. Thanks for watching, guys.
No, just hit him with a bounce grenade. There it is.
And he left. He didn't even surrender.
Play the whole round? Is he gonna make us play the round? Because it's not over. Oh my god, it's happening again.
Oh my god,
It's
okay.
happening again. So now it's in demolition. Wow.
This is insane.
Where's the team, bro?
What if they start getting it back, Phil?
Bro, that'd be wild. It just starts filling them up with randoms. Dude, this is
Hey,
crazy. So we gotta
the fuck is with this?
we gotta plant the
Well,
bomb and
I dropped the
everything.
other one in the Discord so that they could look at it and review, and it has 2 plays, and one of them is from me.
Good to know.
Yeah, so they obviously don't give a shit. And now we've got to wait until... Oh god.
Can we surrender? Wow. We can surrender. But then
Yeah,
we
but then we'll
right?
lose, yeah.
That's what I was about to say. Like, what?
So
That's dumb.
the bomb's gonna go off, we're gonna flip sides, have to rebuy weapons. Well, it'll count down, and then when they don't plant the bomb, it'll give us the win. Or at least it should. I don't know. It may come back and somehow reverse sweep us.
We get a 5-minute penalty because they left.
Through the wall.
Thanks, man.
I mean, I'm just here for the experience at this point. Hey, you know what? Since it doesn't really matter.
We're defending and I have a bomb.
Wait,
Yeah, the bomb's
will it
going
let
back.
you pull it out?
Let's see.
Try to plant it.
I'm gonna plant it. Yeah,
Oh my
it's
God.
out.
Oh my god.
The game's gotta be freaking out, right? But now you can't grab it, right?
It won't let, yeah, it won't let me pick it up. Oh god.
Dropping the base over here.
Nice work, team. Checks in the mail.
We win.